you may be thinking, what is Josh doing bringing home another E12? Why would I need two E12s? Looks like a pretty nice E12, doesn't it? Cool blue, nice wheels, Euro bumper. Well, I'm hiding something from you guys. And to show you guys what I'm hiding, we'll head over to the other side of the car. Yes, unfortunately, this is not a nice E12. This is a struggling E12. This is a on its last leg E12. This is a going to die E12. Unfortunately, this car was obviously in a very bad accident. We have a crumpled quarter panel. We have destroyed rear suspension. This tire is lodged into the door. Doors bent, rocker panels destroyed. This is kinked. I mean, this thing took a hit. And that is where I will start this video of E12-ness, because a lot of people have been asking, what's going on with your E12? Is the E12 really an M90 car? I'm going to answer all those questions in this video, and as a bonus, I will be showing you guys around this crazy find of an E12 that I bought down in Miami, Florida, and got shipped up here. This car was purchased for a reason, and the first reason, before we do anything else, can you take a guess? Okay, so what is the ugliest part of my E12? It's a very simple answer. You may be overlooking it, but it is staring you in the face times 2. Ugly. Okay, well that was supposed to be a slick way of me showing chrome mirrors on my car, because these black ones are just hideous, but turns out they don't bolt right on. There's modifications needed, which is ridiculous. Didn't realize that. So anyway, I was trying to be slick. Not gonna happen. I'm stealing these chrome mirrors for my car because, as I said, the black mirrors just kill it, because like it's a totally chrome 70s car, and then you give it black like E28 mirrors and it's like, why? So that's a cool plus, but that's not the reason why I bought this car. So a little history on this car. Guy built it down in Florida. Shortly after he built it, meaning Euro bumpers, new interior, I think he repainted it. It got hit, wrecked, and now here it is. You guys know me, I'm the garbage collector. So this is a 1980 528i. And that means one good thing, if you can guess, and it all ties back into this car. What is this car missing that was stolen from it? That thing right there. This car has the 4-speed trans in it. 80 528i's are supposed to have 5 speeds. So this is a 5-speed car. Getrag 265, I believe, which is what this car came with from factory. This is also a 528i 1980. And yeah, it's been robbed of its 5-speed, and I am here to bring that 5-speed back. I'm a little skeptical getting in here because it's a little moldy, but if we hop in, 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, 4, 5. And it's not a dog leg, but yes, we have a 5-speed gearbox, 5-speed swap, and in the E12 world, that is very desirable because, first off, rare as can be, only came in 2 years of E12, but second, I believe this manual swap you can do or use for E9s and all that stuff. So it's worth a pretty penny. It's worth more than I paid for this car and to ship it here. And the plan is either throw it in this car, or if I can get good money for it, I'm gonna sell it, because this car I also have plans for that I may or may not need that gearbox, and I'll get into those in a little bit here, especially after we check and make sure if this is an M90 or not. But otherwise, very sadly, the rear Euro bumper was destroyed. It did not survive the incident. It's all crunched up. Brand new Bilsteins, I think they lived. This one's just a little kinked. It's got these nice wheels which look like Alpina wheels, and I think that one probably survived, but it's bent. It's gonna need to be repaired, so it's probably still usable in the future. Chrome mirrors I think are rare on a later model car, so that's why those are desirable. So many people have wanted to buy those off me, it's crazy. But coming into the engine bay, then we have the M30 B28. Looks no different than that car, but that car supposedly has an M90, and we're gonna figure out why or why it does not. I think for fun, I think we should try to start this car because I think that would be interesting to see if it fires up after sitting for I don't know how long. By the looks of things, it's been sitting for a long time. Chrome Euro bumper, that's a little rusty, which sucks, but at least we got it. And then little things like the headlight chrome I'm gonna want for this car because I believe one of these is kinked. Oh yeah, right there, it's damaged. Just a lot of stuff off this car I think will make nice parts for this car, which I'm gonna keep obviously, and is a much nicer car. The interior, unfortunately, he said it was redone, but it is just brutal condition. The headliner, let's just not even look at that, it's disgusting. I don't know, the black seats are super nice, but they're cracked to Kingdom Come. The black door cards are nice, but that's about it. You know, cluster and stuff, maybe the dashboard, which actually doesn't have any cracks in it, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of oddball stuff in here that I want just because E12 parts are rare, but mainly I want the 5-speed, I want the wheels, I want the front Euro bumper, and you know, spare body panels are cool. I just want to show you guys around that. And as a kind of intro into what is going on with this thing, what are my plans, what am I going to do with it, and is it really an M90 in this car? Because that's the big controversy on Bring a Trailer, and in my comments everyone's asking, is it actually an M90 high compression Euro engine? And to answer that, we are going to head to my shop, pull this thing in, and I will be able to identify hopefully whether it is or whether it isn't. I've done a lot of research. I've dove deep into the rabbit holes of old 70s and 80s BMW engine identification. It is not easy to figure out, but hopefully we will have a definitive answer. And before we can get a definitive answer, I'm gonna have to borrow a special set of tools. As I mentioned, we're gonna do some testing on this E12 to see if it's actually a Euro M90. A lot of people from the day I got it have been questioning it. The Bring a Trailer listing, people were questioning it because there isn't definitive proof like you see on most M90s with the raised water passage and the L. This thing does not have that. However, it does have obviously Euro insignias on it. Like, it is definitely a older 3.5, but it's an M90. And before we go and find out this answer, I just want you guys to know that I bought this car not caring if it was an M90 or it wasn't, because I care about the car itself, not so much the drivetrain. If it's a Euro M90, sweet. If it's not, still sweet. So how you tell if you have an M90 engine, a Euro engine, being a high compression engine is, first off, you can check numbers or that raised water passage. If you don't have that, which they say early M535s don't have the raised water jacket. That's what they say. You can go on the forums and try to dig up old archive pictures of the bottom ends and the block numbers. And I have looked that up and I have it here. The block on mine is consistent with M90 numbers. The date makes sense and the numbers add up from what someone's posted. However, my head, and I'll show a picture of that hopefully I have, does not. The head on this car actually has 84 stamped on it. And 84 does not make sense because M90s were last produced in, I think, 80 or 81. So 84 cannot be an original M90 head, but there is a part you can get to convert a later head to the early style distributor, you know, the one, the round one. So I think that's obviously been done here. The head we know isn't original, but what makes an M90 an M90 is basically the bottom end. The heads I believe are all the same. So if we have a genuine M90 bottom end, that is still considered an M90 because you still have the high compression pistons, etc. So the hope is that we do, but we're gonna go for the definitive answer and we're gonna get the borescope out and check out these piston heads because that's basically the only way to confirm. So we're gonna do that. So I gotta take out a spark plug here, hook up this borescope. I'm gonna try to understand how to use it. Spark plugs are burning nicely. These are the spark plugs I put in California before I started the drive, and they're actually burning like perfect. So that's a nice sign that the early L-Jet is doing its thing. But now let's figure out how to use this. Oh, it works. Look at that. All right, well, let's go in. Where am I going? In the spark plug. Well, that does not look like a piano top piston. Uh-oh, I lost signal. Okay, so Well, you guys will see here, we do have a little bit of cross hatching, which is nice. But if you look at the top of this piston, oh, I'm out. There is absolutely no piano top to it. Unless it was, they're so carbon deposited up that I can't see it. But from what I see here, there is no piano tops on these. So this is not looking like a high compression engine, which sucks. But like I said, I don't care. But what that does is that brings us into the next step with this car, and we will chat about that in a second. But otherwise, aside from that, looking up at this valve, you see that right there? That's like holes in the valve, like pitted holes. It looks like the moon surface, dude. So I have no idea what's going on in here. This, I don't know if that's a design, if I'm looking at it wrong, or if this is a very unhealthy engine. Like that valve looks kind of chewed up. So yeah, that's interesting. But we'll get into that one day. But for now, no piano tops. So confirmed, not an M90 engine. So it just might happen now that that post in the forums that says that these numbers are consistent with an M90 is either wrong, or the block numbers match this bottom end and other bottom ends. It is a 3.5 bottom end, and it is a Euro because it's got the 3/5 instead of 0.5. So what the difference is, I'm not sure. What car this would be out of, I'm really not sure. Maybe a late 635, but it's marked early. So this is absolutely a Frankenstein. Maybe it was an M90 block, but not M90 internals anymore. I have no idea. But that piston tells us what we need to know, and that is that it is not a piano-topped M90. So that sucks, but I'm not worried about it, and we will discuss that in a second. Okay, so now we're back at the garage. We're here with the E28, teasing the next episode of the series. That's exciting, isn't it? But, so yeah, where are my conclusions with the E12? As you guys saw with the borescope, it is not an M90 engine, which sucks. But, and I've said it before in this video, and I've said it before to many people, I could care less if that was an M30, M90, or whatever. I wanted the car for what the car is and what matters. An engine transplant is an easy thing. A clean, rust-free E12 with rare parts is not. So who cares about the engine? Disappointing, sure, but it is what it is. Unless the pistons were just so carboned up that I couldn't tell, but I think it would be a little more apparent that if it had piano tops. I mean, they are literally the shape of like a grand piano. I'll put a picture up. But yeah, so basically, where does this video tie in with the crashed E12? Well, that car is going to be half of my parts car and then half of just, obviously, for profit. But I'm thinking with my E12 future plans, I got suspension coming, I got a lot to do. I think I love E12s arguably more than E28s. And yes, I'm building this and it's going to be cool, but I think ultimately I won't keep the E28, and I think the E12 will be a car where I will do a really cool drivetrain in it, because that engine, it overheats. I think it's really at its last leg. If it's not an M90, it's essentially worthless in my eyes. Still a 3.5, but yeah. So I'm thinking, and this will be a long term, this will be, in the future. Nothing's happening anytime soon. I got too much stuff going on. I think that car will be a cool drivetrain, maybe like an S54, an S38, something unique and cool. And I'm gonna make that like my perfect E12, cool wheels, nice suspension, all that stuff. Because I think it deserves it. So that is why this video is here, and I'm gonna steal the 5-speed swap from that car probably. So yeah, that's the crash car comes in place for the 5-speed swap and the chrome mirrors and stuff, and then some sort of drivetrain. Once I find one, I'll just make my decision. But I think that's the plan with the E12, since we found out now that it's not actually an M90 engine. But yeah, this was just a quick little introduction of, or not introduction, a quick little update on what's going on with that car. It's just been sitting. I mean, it's drivable, but the suspension is so bad on it, and the motor just overheats, and it's just kind of a nightmare right now. It's not really worth even driving. So we'll get to it one day. It will be revisited on this channel. I'm not going to sell it, and it'll be a pretty cool build, I think. So looking forward to that. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, and this will be the next one.